Alright, so guys, today I'm going to be starting on the floor pan repair. So I've got all these wires loosened already, and next I gotta get rid of the sound deadening. And I see people use dry ice a lot for this, but none of the stores nearby me had dry ice available, so I'm just going to use a heat gun and a where is it? I'm going to use a heat gun right there, and I'm going to use one of these like to scrape off the thing once it gets soft. And then yeah, so once I'm done with that, then I'll get started on the metal work. Okay, so guys, so it's a new day. Last time I left off, I was working on the removing the sound deadening in the rear of the driver's side. So I did this using a heat gun and a thing to scrape it, because all the stores were closed and I couldn't get dry ice. But now it's Tuesday, so I got some dry ice, about 15 pounds. So yeah, I'm gonna use that to do the front, and then I'll let you guys know which one works better, heat gun or dry ice, because I've seen some people say dry ice doesn't work that well on BMWs, so we'll see. Got my welding gloves so I can handle the dry ice. So I got all of the dry ice spread out in the front, and in the small corner that I didn't finish last time. Got that done. So now I'm just waiting, and then I'll start breaking off the pieces of sound deadening. And you can see right here, I used some pieces of wood to put the wires and all the cables and stuff to sit on top of, because if you leave the all the wiring, if you let it sit onto the dry ice, it'll make it really brittle, and then when you bend the wires, the insulation will crack, and then if that happens to a bunch of your wires, they can touch and then short out, and then it'll mess up your car. So yeah, that's how the dry ice works on the sound deadening. It makes it really brittle, and then you can just break it off. So I've been waiting for a while, maybe like 10-15 minutes, and start testing it. This pry tool just flakes off, you see. Oh, not that one. Let's see. See, it just breaks off. So it should be ready soon. I might wait a bit longer just to be sure, and then I'll start taking out the dry ice, and then I can start breaking off this. Alright, so I got all the sound deadening out. Looks pretty bad. You can see into my frame rails right there from the inside of the car. But before I start cutting out the floor panels and welding in new sheet metal, I gotta check for leaks to see where the water was coming in from the first place. Alright, so there are some common leak spots in E36s. So one of them is the sunroof drains. And there are drains in, I think, each corner of the sunroof, and on the inside you can see right here, this is one, there's another one right here, and then same for the rear. So those are some spots. There is a spot underneath the hood. So right here, where these vents are, as water comes down from the windshield and like off the hood, it goes down into here, and then there is this little spot that all the water collects and then it drains out to the bottom. But sometimes stuff gets stuck in there, and then water will overflow, and then it'll leak somewhere around here because the drain is near the heater core. So that's another spot. Let's see. Also these seals, so if any of them are bad, then water can leak in through here and then it will get in. So I'm gonna test all of those spots with my hose, and then I'll see where water leaks in from. I'll try to fix that, and then I'll start cutting into the floor. Alright, so seems like it's draining properly from here. Nothing's wet on the inside. Looks like there's a little bit of water in here, but I think that's just from when I opened the door and then water dripped down. It didn't look like there was a major leak. So I think it's a sunroof. I don't know if you can see, but the sunroof drain is right here in this corner. So I'm going to test that. And that is supposed to drain out around here. It's behind the fender liner. Oh yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of water in here now. So it looks like it was a sunroof drain that was clogged. And you see water is getting into my frame rails right here. So that's the problem. And okay, so now that I know that the sunroof drain is blocked from here, I'm using 1/4 inch airline that I had left over from when I bagged my E90 over there. And this is a lot better than using wires, because sometimes the wires get stuck and they're kind of thin. So for this, it's strong enough to push through things that get blocked inside, but it's flexible enough to bend with the shape of the drain. And then another benefit is that there's a hole inside, so if something gets stuck, you can try to blow into it and then it'll push everything out. So yeah. Okay, so basically I got this point where it stopped, and then I can measure this out and then put this against the body of the car. And from here to here, it looks like it would be about the distance, so it looks like it went all the way through. So now I'm going to test water. I'm going to put water into this drain, and then we'll see if it gets wet again on the inside. Oopsies. Oh shit, I got some on my seat. Be careful not to spray into here, and it's got to go right into here. So, that was dumb. Yeah, so this is just me being dumb. Oh shit, it looks like there's still water getting into here. Alright, so guys, so it's been a while since last time, but I was able to find the leak. So from the sunroof drains right here. The water is going down. And then I read on some forums that behind the side skirt from the outside, there's an area that's open and water goes down the A-pillar and then into that area, and then it comes out somewhere near like the jack points or in the wheel well. So there's this hole. It's really small. It's like a crack. You can't really see it, but it's like around here. And then water was leaking in. But I have another theory that earlier when I removed the carpet, there was like this crystallized like substance, kind of like this right here. So that indicates that it is a coolant leak. So I did more research online. It's related to the heater core. So basically coolant flows from the engine into the heater core when you turn on the heater. And there are some O-rings that connect the two parts together, and the O-rings go bad and then it starts to leak coolant. And then normally it drips down from around here. And then yeah, so what I think happened is that coolant leaked into my car on the inside, and then it started to sit, and then it started to make a hole right here from rusting. And then once that hole was open, then whenever it would rain, water would go down the sunroof drain and then go into that hole because it comes first instead of exiting like further out there. So because of that, I'm gonna need to take out the heater core, or the whole heating system, I guess, for AC. And that's this whole box right here. So that's why I have the dash out again. I just need to remove this brace, this bar that goes across, and then also on the driver's side too. So right now, I've got most of the stuff removed except for these right here, these bolts. And if you can see, there's no actual bolt head on here, so you can't really loosen it with the normal tools. BMW decided to use some bolts that snap off at a certain torque spec, but that means that you can't really remove them easily. So I'm gonna use a Dremel. So I got a Dremel right here and some attachments for it. So I'm just gonna Dremel and cut a line in here to make it kind of like a screw and loosen it with a screwdriver. All right, so as you can see right here, I was able to get this shear bolt out. In the process of removing it, I had to destroy it. You can see the washer is in two pieces and the bolt is it's destroyed. All right, so the reason why it's so hard to get out is because so the bolt is tightened down, and that squeezes the washer, and this white plastic piece squeezes them down. That pressure is creating friction, which makes it really difficult to loosen this bolt. Like I tried doing it with a screwdriver after cutting in half, and the screwdriver was just bending and going to break. I cut through the bolt and into the washer, so that the washer will be split into two pieces. And once the washer is removed, there won't be any pressure between the bolt and the plastic, and that allows you to turn the bolt pretty easily. So here's the second washer. I got it out, and I'm actually able to just turn this by hand. So it wasn't the threads that was tight, it was just the friction from the washer and the plastic and the bolt. Alright, so update. So as you can see, I got the metal brace that goes across right here. I took out the driver's side and the passenger side one. They're right here. This whole like AC unit with the heater core inside is almost ready to remove. Before you can remove it, there are 4 bolts that hold it in. So I've taken off the cover that goes right here and right here. So just standard procedure for doing your AC blower motor, which I've done before. So I took all those parts out, and here you can see right about here, there's a nut. It's a 10 mil. You're gonna need a deep 10 mil socket because the stud sticks out pretty far. And there's another one right about here. So it's gonna be 2 on each side. One more nut right about here. So that one is to hold the 3 pipes that bring coolant into the heater core from the engine. So the O-rings for those pipes are leaking. That's my theory. So I'll show it better once I have the whole AC unit removed. Yeah. All right, so I got the heater box out, and it's on the floor in my house right now. So these are the O-rings that I was talking about that I suspect leaked. So normally the engine would be like around here, and then the coolant, there'd be coolant lines that run into these 3 connections right here. And there are 3 O-rings. It's either these ones that have gone bad, or if you take off this plastic piece, it goes directly into the metal tubes, and then from there these go into the heater core, which is inside. So there's actually another set of O-rings right here, another set of 3, and I wasn't able to find the part number for these O-rings, but I was able to find the part numbers for these. The 2 small ones right here are the same, and then there's one bigger one. I'm guessing that each set of O-rings, they're both the same, because I took them off like this, and they're pretty close in size. So this is the one that was originally on this piece. So I take this off, put the other one on. It seems like it fits, so I'm guessing that they're going to be the same. And I don't know if you can really tell, but this one is pretty squared, like it's not round like this one is. So that could mean that the O-rings are different, or it could just be after like more than like 25 years of use, this O-ring is just like worn out and it's gotten compressed into this like squared off shape. So yeah, so basically I'm gonna have to order let's see, 6, I think 9 O-rings for this, because there's 3, and then another 3 at the in here where it connects into the actual heater core. And then while I'm at it, I'm also going to replace these 2 O-rings. So these are for the AC. And then right now I actually have this, there should be a flap right here, but I have it taken out for repairs because it's broken. So I'll show that in a bit. But it should be like on this side where there's this flap that can kind of open and close. This is your recirculation flap. So when the when recirculation is on, the flap will be closed like this. Then all of the air inside of the cabin will be recycled, and you keep using the same air. All right, so this is the flap that I was talking about. So as you can see on here, there's that square shaped hole. This is also shaped like a square so that this can turn the flap, but on this side it's broken. So I JB welded the piece on the bottom, and I'm just gonna DIY something on top so that it'll work. And yeah.